Let's get into Mackie and America Gate. So, as we know, Sam Wilson, aka Captain America, played by Anthony Mackie, has a new movie coming out, Brave and the Bold, or what is it? Brave and the Bold? No, Bold New Brave New World, whatever it's called, whatever. Um, Cat 4. We just gonna call it Cat 4. Cat 4 is coming out, and y'all still ain't bought your tickets, did you? I know it. You ain't got to play around. I know you ain't buy your tickets yet. It's coming out in about a week or two. So, as usual, you will have the actors going out talking about the movie in order to promote it, right? Cool. Nothing new. Same old, same old. And here's the thing. Anthony Mackie, I think, for as much grief as y'all give him, he has usually been on point with the things that he says, right? Like he was one of those people that was saying, hey, in the movie world, things have shifted. Now we look at the characters in the IP and we don't have movie stars anymore. Like he would say some things and you'd be like, you know what? Makes sense, right? And even though y'all hate Anthony Mackie and y'all give him so much grief, I find myself agreeing with him more so than not. And recently, he was out there talking about Captain America, and he was catching a whole lot of heat. And I was sitting there like, here's the thing. I saw what he said, and I just dismissed it. I was just like, whatever. You know, he's just talking about Captain, whatever. Talking about his movie. But man, the internets got mad. I mean, big mad. I was like, golly, what y'all mad for? Why are y'all? What did he say that got y'all so messed up? So let's go ahead and play the clip of what he was talking about. And I wanted to kind of go through it. And just, you know, let's kind of figure out whether this is justified anger, you know, or what. Let me get that here. Got it. Okay.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me. For me, Captain.
So, clearly, Anthony Mackie hates America. Clearly, Anthony Mackie is not a patriot. He does not like this country. He doesn't like anything, blah, 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 blah. This is the stuff that I heard all on the internet. Oh my gosh, how could Anthony Mackie say something like this? Oh my gosh, if he hates this country, maybe he should go back to where he came from. Y'all know the type. And, I was sitting here really thinking about what exactly he said. And this is and here's the thing. I actually went and listened to other YouTubers. I read comments, because I really wanted to understand where people were coming from with this critique against him. So one of the things, let me highlight it here for you. As I'm sure you guys saw or understand, it was this term right here. It was this phrase right here. Captain America represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Okay, so let's dissect this. From what I could surmise, a lot of people have taken what he said and they have latched on to the fact that America, they thought that Anthony Mackie was sneak dissing America. They thought that he was basically throwing America under the bus, right? Now, I've told you guys that in my past, I went to seminary school, and one of the things that I had to learn in seminary school, I had to do a obviously you're studying religious scriptures and stuff like that. I had to learn hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is basically a fancy word of saying how to interpret the Bible, right? And there were two methodologies that we learned. And the first one was called exegesis. Exegesis is basically, it's the process of interpreting a text by taking out the meaning, taking out and using like objective things around the text to interpret it. So in other words, who is the person talking to? What time period is this? What society is this? What was the culture like at that time? What were the audience? How would the audience interpret the things that the person was saying at that time? What was their style of writing at that time? That was exegesis, right? You take all these external factors and you use those things to interpret what the person said or what the author was saying. But then there was another methodology that was brought up, which I'm sure many of you will be familiar with, and that was called eisegesis. Eisegesis, unlike exegesis, it's the method of interpretation where you come in with your own subjective biases and you basically put that into the reading of what someone else wrote. So in other words, if you, I don't know, if you hate all men, that's just your personal bias. Maybe you had a bad experience. I don't know, whatever. And you said, and you read somebody that says, I like women. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. But you hate men. And you read that statement that says, I like women. You can sit here and be like, you know what? This person really meant that they hate women, because if they really liked women, they would say that they love women. But you see how I'm taking that personal bias and I'm putting it into this, and that's not what the person said. And I believe that's what's happening here. I believe some people were doing eisegesis and they were looking at what Mackie said and completely took him out of context and did not understand it. Not to mention, because here's the thing, what some people are implying, and I'm gonna try and break the logic down, maybe a little bit. We'll see if I can do it. I think what people were doing were they were projecting what they believe is how people should view America, and then they were implying that to also mean that's what Captain America should represent. However, here's the problem. That's not what Cap represents. Cap has never represented America. And I'm talking about the comics. I'm talking about the movie. That has not been the case. Yeah, he walks around with the red, white, and blue. We know that. But that's not what that's not even why he was chosen. Do y'all remember when the scientists picked Steve? Steve literally in the first Avenger, he sat down and was like, man, why me? Why did you pick me of all people? And he told him a whole story about the Nazis, told him a whole story about the Red Skull. And at the end of it, he was like, I chose you because you, just to summarize it, you have to be a good man. Because the super serum, when it gets inside of you, it's going to basically enhance all the things that are wrong with you or right with you. So ideally, and this is what makes Cap so special, by the way, Steve Rogers, you have to be a good person. Because if you have anything mentally messed up with you, if you have any selfishness or, greed or corruption, the super serum is going to enhance that. By the way, that's why Bucky can't be Captain America, because he's mentally unstable. So for all of y'all that are like, man, why can't Bucky be the Cap? That's why. He's been brainwashed. He's damaged. He cannot be Captain America. Anyway, this is also why Sam was chosen, right? Sam was chosen not because he represented America. He was chosen because he was a good man. Remember, he served his country. Remember, he was helping other veterans that were in trouble. Remember, he put his life on the line to protect and serve other people. That is what is Captain America. That's Captain America. So in other words, Captain America does not represent America. Captain America is the embodiment of the American dream. Captain America is what America wants to grow up to be one day. Okay. That's who and what Captain America is. And that's exactly what he said. It's a man of integrity. It's a man that holds his word. It's a man that, will always do the right thing. And just in case we've got a couple, let's say, far right folks on here. And listen, everybody's welcome. Let me help you with your own logic that does not add up. If you believe that what Anthony Mackie was saying was anti-American, I want you to analyze what you think that means or what the logic is. Because if you can sit here and believe that America is perfect, then you're already living in a delusional world. If you think America is ideally the best place ever, then you are already contradicting your own belief. Because last time I checked, y'all were the ones that were saying, make America great again, right? So if you had to make America great again, does that not imply that at some point America was not great? Does that not imply that at some point America took a step down? Does that not imply that at some point, America was doing some things or was something that it was not believed to be? In other words, America's not perfect. And we know that. Okay? We know that. Some of y'all don't want to admit it, but America's not perfect. It does not mean that just because you criticize it, that you hate it. Okay? Because a lot of people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into this country, they, I think, earn the right to criticize it. Damn it, if you pay taxes, you deserve the right to criticize your own country. Okay? I criticize a lot of things that I love. So Mackie was not doing anything wrong here, in my opinion. And I think he was just being very consistent with the actual character. Matter of fact, I'd even take it a notch higher than that. If y'all had a problem with what Anthony Mackie said about the MCU version, then y'all just need to hurry up and say that you hate the other Cap too. Because this other Cap, what did this man say? Look at the bottom left. Well, I say America is nothing without its ideals. Its commitment to freedom of all men. America is a piece of trash. Was that Cap? That was Cap. Hold on, let me go back. That was Cap, right? Yeah, that was Cap. Cap has been going against the country and the government of America whenever it goes off the rails. Why? Because Cap is a representation and an embodiment of the dream that America wants to be. He is not America. Don't let the semantics fool you. He is what America is always striving to be. In other words, America should represent him, not the other way around. America should try to be like Cap, not the other way around. And it's ironic and funny that if you read the comics, this is exactly what happened with Sam Wilson. All this hate, Sam Wilson is anti-America. Woo! Sam, hand in your shield. Not my Captain America. Cap versus the Constitution. Cap hates America. Bro, some of y'all was telling on yourselves. Matter of fact, how about we take it another step further? Let's take it another step further. Because something tells me that some of this outrage is manufactured. Something tells me that this is just not consistent. But let me see why that is. Because I know some of the people, we won't talk about why, don't like Sam Wilson as Captain America for what he just said. I've heard some people say, well, now I'm not going to watch the movie. My question for y'all is, why did you still go see the first Captain America movie when Chris Evans was saying this too? When asked about being draped in the American flag for Captain America, the first Avenger, Chris Evans had this to say: I'm not trying to get too lost in the American side of it. This isn't a flag-waving movie. It is red, white, and blue, but it just so happens that the character was created in America during wartime when there was a common enemy. In other words, he's only Captain America by name, and it was by circumstance. Oh, he has more to say too. It feels more like he should just be called Captain Good. Uh-oh. explaining that while Cap dresses in the American flag, the character's creation was rooted in opposing undeniable evil rather than promoting nationalism. And I need y'all to understand that. All the people that I've heard criticizing Anthony Mackie's comments, what you're really doing is proposing and projecting nationalism, which is not American. Nationalism, even though it might sound good, that's not the same. Okay. We are not nationalists. We can be patriots. We can love our country, but we are literally founded. The country was literally founded on the principle of disagreement. We disagreed with the Queen. And then y'all came over here. Y'all displaced a lot of people. Y'all enslaved a lot of people, but y'all came over here based off of disagreement and democracy. It was never about, all right, everybody got to say the same thing, walk the same, talk the same, look the same. No, that's not what America has been founded on. That's not how we're supposed to operate. That's not the end goal. So all these folks that have been mad at Mackie, you really need to check yourselves, because what you're doing is basically fighting for you're projecting the same thing that Captain America was actually fighting against back in the 1940s. The irony is kind of crazy. Oh, and let's go on a little more background. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby created the character in 1940. They weren't simply designing a patriotic mascot. Cap is not your mascot. They were responding to the rise of fascism, in Europe, with Simon specifically choosing Adolf Hitler as the character's nemesis before America even entered World War II. The character's immediate success, selling over 1 million copies monthly, demonstrated that audiences connected with this mission of opposing tyranny, authoritarianism, dictatorships, fascism, rather than simply celebrating American superiority. Anthony Mackie was not wrong. Period. Not wrong at all. For those of you that are out there acting like, you guys are now doing, the ones that are anti, the ones that are hating on him, the ones that are trying to critique him, you are the ones that are revising history. You're the history revisionist right now. You're the one that's changing why Cap was created, what he represents, and what he's always stood for. You are changing the narrative, maybe because you changed. He hasn't. Chris Evans basically said the same thing that Anthony Mackie said almost 10 years apart. What do you think has changed in the last 10 to 15 years? Because it clearly wasn't this fictional character that's been around since the 1940s. But what else do you think might have changed in that time? So, in addition to all this, Mackie actually released a statement on his Instagram. He said, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to." I hate the fact that he even had to clarify this, because at no point in anything he said did I sit here and think, man, this is a guy that hates his country. And here's the ironic thing about it. If you're American, you're allowed to hate your country. That's the crazy irony in America. People have fought and died for your right to even hate your own country. That is still part of being American. As crazy as it sounds, you have the freedom to love and hate whatever you want. Now, you can't be a traitor. Okay, now you can't be a traitor. Don't be a traitor now. But you have the opinion, you have the ability to love, criticize, and hate whatever about this country, especially if you're paying them taxes. But anyway, guys, what do you think about Mackie's comments here? Now, if there was something to get upset about, because some people there is more. Some people were talking about how Captain America 4 was too woke, and it was not fair because they're making the Red Hulk look like the current president. How dare they compare the Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, Y'all are making fun of the president. Once again, and let me remind y'all of the Southern saying, this is an example of a hit dog hollering. And I love what Anthony Mackie had to say about this. This is what he said. He said, on the comparisons being made between Red Hulk and Donald Trump, I hope as a country, we're tired of all the political jousting. Let's just go to the movies and chill the heck out. We could have made this sucker yellow or orange, and it would have been a problem, but they didn't. Once again, this is an example of projection. The Red Hulk is who the Red Hulk is. He's in the comics, okay? He's in the cartoons. They didn't just create this guy. If you have that issue, go have that issue with The Boys on Amazon. They are intentionally making Homelander similar to the current president. That is where you can have your valid criticism if you're a Trump supporter, right? If that is you, they're doing that on purpose. This just so happens to be the president who's corrupt and turns into a red hulking maniac. Now, if you just so happen to notice some similarities, that's not on the creation, because this character has been around for a long time before the current president even became president. So stop hollering, hit dogs. Please. Y'all telling on yourselves a little too much. And for the record, I would have cracked up so bad if they turned Red Hulk into Orange Hulk. I would have been beside myself. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying if they did it, I would have laughed. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this Mackie Gate, America Gate, all this stuff? Do you agree with what Mackie said? Do you disagree? Again, I'm going to push back on the whole idea that he needed more PR training. No, he didn't. Because if you weren't saying Chris Evans needed PR training back in 2011, don't bring that up now. Don't talk about that now. Because it's not Anthony Mackie's fault that the same character that's been consistent from the 1940s is still here. What's the alternative? Y'all just don't want him to talk about the movie then. He can't talk about it. So this whole idea of like, oh, well, he needed to clear this up and he should have just done his job and talk about the character, and that's it. If people have a problem, guess what? They was going to find a problem with this movie anyway. All them folks that were out there like, well, now I'm not going to watch it. Shut up. You was going to find a reason not to watch it in the first place. They got another black in the movie. Nope. Not going to watch it. Like, stop it. Stop lying. This is what I really wish I don't care what political side you're on. I just want us to stop lying. Stop lying. You don't like black people. Say that. You don't like LGBTQ people. Just say that. You don't like certain things. Just say that. Stop trying to find dog whistles. Stop trying to play around it. We already know. We know. We're just waiting for you to accept it. That's all. You're not going to change no minds. You already have your little tribe. You already got your little circle of people that's going to pass it over. You're not going to show me a Nazi symbol and tell me it's just a cross. That's not going to work for me. Okay, please stop lying. All right. Got a little too wokish here. My bad, y'all. Sorry about that. All right, guys, let me know what you thought about the whole Mackie situation. His comments, Cap, Chris Evans, all of that. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.